The woman discovered in horror at work that her colleague's online lover was actually her husband. At first, Nova thought she was seeing things, but when she saw her husband lying about being unmarried, tears streamed down her face uncontrollably. After returning home, she dared not confront her husband Sergei. Instead, she secretly registered an online dating account and chose a half-face photo as her profile picture, intending to pose as an aloof beauty to lure him. Yet her motive wasn't revenge. Nova merely wanted to understand why he betrayed her. Little did she know that Sergei, upon catching just a glimpse, was utterly captivated by her mystery. He chatted happily with his online match all night, complaining that his wife had become nothing but a dishwasher and other household appliances after marriage, life reduced to mere routine. Far from the image of a refined wife, he even began to believe his online match was the true beauty. Nova learned her husband's true thoughts. Tears welled up in her eyes. 16 years of diligent sacrifice now seemed nothing but a joke. Hadn't she always wanted to live elegantly and show her husband her most radiant self? Yet every time she returned home, endless chores awaited. Her husband selectively ignored it all. Even their 2 children fell entirely to Nova's care, and she wasn't even a full-time homemaker. She had a job that kept her out from dawn till dusk. Her days were packed with busyness, leaving only enough spare moments for rest. Gradually, she grew accustomed to this life. Facing her family, she stopped caring whether she wore makeup, and now, she couldn't even bring herself to buy a dress. Nova felt profoundly sad. In this household, she cared for her incapable husband and their 2 children. Yet her husband remained blind to her exhaustion. He even thought his wife was boring, too lazy to wait even a few extra seconds to drive Nova to work. But Nova refused to let him sense her resentment. She still clung to a last shred of hope that her husband still harbored affection for her. So she said to Sergei, "Honey, I love you."
Все равно делай, что хочешь.
She'd intended it as a simple test of his feelings, yet he couldn't even muster a perfunctory reply. Desperate to win back his heart, she adopted the persona of a female online friend and engaged him in nightly chats. She controlled the conversation's flow, occasionally feigning agreement when he went offline. This teasing left Sergei haunted by her. He suggested meeting the female friend in person, but Nova didn't reply immediately. This kept the man awake all night. The next day, Nova decided she wouldn't indulge them anymore. She declared, "From now on, you cook your own meals, and you wash your own dishes after eating. The kids must also learn to take on chores, wash your own dirty clothes, and toys must be put away neatly." Caught off guard, they looked utterly bewildered. They couldn't fathom why Nova's attitude was so out of character today. Nova could only act as if nothing had changed. This household truly needed a shakeup. She needed to carve out some free time for herself. Meanwhile, at work, Nova began speaking her mind boldly. Her boss was surprised by her transformation. After work, she headed straight to the gym. For the first time, Nova hired a personal trainer. She hadn't felt this refreshed in ages, free from worrying about her husband. But Sergei was drowning in his own chaos, fumbling to clear the dishes. He couldn't even make a decent breakfast. So his wife assigned him household duties. She'd start walking to work, no longer needing his rides. But when the woman returned home from work and saw Sergei's bewildered expression, kind-hearted Nova felt a twinge of pity. She still loved her husband and didn't want to part with Sergei, so she tried to communicate with her husband, attempting to win back his heart. Yet Sergei refused to engage in deep conversation. Using work as an excuse, he retreated to his room, but he immediately logged back into his online dating account, seeking solace and sympathy from his female chat partner. Nova felt helpless and continued pretending to be the female friend. This time, Sergei boldly confessed his feelings to her, saying he couldn't stand his wife's sudden transformation into an inexplicably harsh shrew. He even promised to take her to London soon. These words stabbed Nova like a sharp knife. She couldn't believe it. Her husband would travel abroad with a stranger. All these years, he'd kept promising to take her to London, but it had always been nothing but lies. Furious and humiliated, Nova craved release. She dropped her laptop, grabbed a fruit knife, and frantically slashed her husband's car tires, eager to vent all her pent-up frustration. But once she calmed down, Nova returned to Sergei's side. She didn't want her husband to see through her act. She already understood his betrayal,